make it 2 losses in a row for the New York Knicks as they fell to the Celtics in Beantown 133-123 on Friday. In that loss, there was a change to the starting lineup and a late injury to Jalen Brunson. Now, there's plenty to talk about around the Knickerbockers, so let's do it with the Dean of Knicks Film School. That would be Jonathan Macri, who joins me now. J-Mac, what's going on?
Oh, I'm reeling, just like all Knicks fans who had to endure these last 2 games. Not too much fun, but hopefully the level of competition going down just a tad will bring some nicer things as we move along here in December.
Yeah, looking on social media after this recent loss to the Celtics wasn't a lot of fun. Now, as I said, the Knicks, they lost to the Celtics again this season. They're 0-3 against their division rivals. New York, they're now 0-5 against Boston and Milwaukee, and they have a 2-9 record against teams with winning records. Are you concerned, J-Mac, about those numbers, and does the team's recent performances this week against the Bucks and Celtics show that they're a middling team in the conference right now?
Oh, my goodness. Middling. It's like going on a date and hearing that someone really likes your personality. It's not the words you want to hear at all. Look, I think like 20 teams in the league right now you could define as middling. There's 5 really good teams or so, 5 not so great teams, and everybody else is in the middle. And I think the Knicks, like a lot of those teams, on any given night, they could rise up to their competition if they're playing a really good team, or they could rise down to their competition if they're playing a bad team, which we saw the Knicks do against Detroit right before this in-season tournament started. I wouldn't worry just yet. I think we've seen enough good signs from the Knicks. I think the bones are good. Their net rating is still a top 10 net rating, barely, but it is. I just don't think that they are on the level of these, whatever you want to call it, 4, 5, 6 teams at the top of the league that when they turn it on, and boy, oh boy, were the Bucks and Celtics on in these 2 games, the Knicks are just going to have a tough time keeping up unless they play pretty perfectly, and the Knicks did not in either of these games.
They did not indeed, and there's levels to this, as we always say. We'll see if the Knicks at some point can level up. But before the start of Friday night's game, Tom Thibodeau, he announced a new starting lineup as Quentin Grimes was replaced in the starters by Dante DiVincenzo. Grimes, now, he was more aggressive off the bench, scoring 13 points. Yeah. But the starters overall, they struggled. Was the change to the starting lineup the right move for the Knicks at this time?
I think it probably was. Grimes, to his credit, said he thought the move was right, which whether he believes that or not, good job by him kind of touting the company line. I think he had lost confidence. And I think for as much as we could talk about him getting more shots on the second unit or, him getting, the ball passed to him more, just generally more ball movement in that second unit, I think this was just about him being aggressive and him kind of realizing, hey, I don't really have much else to lose. I've already lost my job. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out slinging. And he did last night. I mean, he was really aggressive. He's the most aggressive we've seen him probably all year. And I think when you are on the court with R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, and that's nothing against those guys, it's different than being on the court with Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, who are 2 guys that are certainly all-star caliber players, maybe all-NBA caliber players. We'll see if Brunson makes it this year. So I think maybe that it was a little easier for Grimes to put up shots and not feel like he is taking food off of anyone else's plate who quote-unquote deserves it more. Still want to wait and see how, give me a good 10-game sample size, and then maybe we'll check back then.
Yeah, we will definitely check back then and see how things are going with the starters and also the bench unit, see what the numbers are around that time with Grimes moving to the bench.